Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. We'll begin in 40 seconds.
You gotta bust past, don't catch no feelings. I come through with the style that's always revealing. From the block like the tick-tock, don't stop. I was at shorty, you know she was non-stop. I had the hot clot, chilling like a real god. Everybody know Big One was a show shot. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. It goes on, ain't no fucking questions why. The gangster of love, get the real fucking supply. What? She came through, giving me more than I can tell you. Everybody knows the next level. I'm so clever. Take the day off. Take the day off. Yeah. Get high on your own supply. Feel like a dime when you do or die. Just get high on my own supply. Cold do or die when I'm feeling like why. Choose a dime piece. Yes, one of a kind. Holler at me, I was one of a kind. We had a bill, throw the shoes to the side. Come on, throw them shoes to the side.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. And again, that is my boy, Juan C. Vasquez. I support anybody and everybody whenever I can. So I had no idea he had a catalog. So I said, hey, can I use your material? Sure. There you go. Now I have a catalog of music I can use. And if anybody else needs some backtracking or some play along music, hit me up. I'll hook you up with Juan. You can use his catalog as well for your podcast or whatever you want to do. I'll hook you up. I can do that. Got a great week coming up for you guys. Tonight begins a full slew of guests. All of them were repeat guests. And tonight, obviously, LeFlore on Trust, part 20 of 20, how to fund your trust. Hopefully, this is the final nail in the coffin. Coming up tomorrow, Tuesdays, hopefully we can do a new series like this. Let me give you a black background back there. There you go. Tanawa Downing, his new super sidekick, Jessica Saxton right here. So hopefully we can do Tuesdays. They will give us an update as they tour the United States of America on their We Shall Be Free Tour 2025. Wednesday with Wesley Keith Mullings. This Wednesday, we will speak about the auto insurance bond. So come check that out. The Wednesday following, we will discuss the renters and homeowners insurance bond. And then the following week after that, again on Wednesday, we will discuss the health insurance bond. And then this Thursday, as always, without introduction, the Bad Wolf, James C. Lovett, will be on the show. Anything about right to travel, nationals, passport. And we may have a special guest. I don't know. I have to dig into that. I haven't had time yet. And Saturday, Stuart Handy, former Nevada County Sheriff, Nevada State Trooper. And he's going to come give you his story as well as the Roger Hilligus story. You can go to this video, look in the description, and there will be a 3-part series about the Roger Hilligus story if you'd like to get caught up before we debut Saturday night at 8 p.m. Every show this week, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you want to be notified, y'all know what to do. Go hit that notification bell. Subscribe to the channel if you want. For some reason, I have people that are trying to join the members on my YouTube. So I had to actually sign out and go back, just as a everyday Joe and look at the format. And there's two different places right there on I guess my homepage, YouTube homepage, where you can join. And it's only 99 cents a month. If I can make it, a penny a month, I would do it. That's the cheapest I could get it. I will be doing some stuff just for members only here very soon. So stay tuned for that. Again, everything is 8 p.m., 8 p.m. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Wednesday, 8 p.m. Thursday, 8 p.m. Saturday. I shot this one yesterday. Scary Movie 2025. The joke's on us, folks. I just want you to absorb that picture. I want you to really look at that picture and tell me which one's a serial killer, right? So, yeah, the joke's on us, folks. The joke's on the United States. Nothing's going to change. They're all buddies. They're all doing the same thing. They're all in on it. They're telling us to trust the plan. And guess what? Nobody can define what the plan is. So y'all just trust it. It's coming. Just like the dinar is going to revalue yesterday, right? Or is that 9/11 that it was supposed to do that? Or is it 9/12? Man, I'm so confused. The rumors just abound. And I cut this today. Ooh, I wonder what that's about, Floyd. I wonder what that's about. So stay tuned. I don't know when I'm going to pop that one in. That might be my Friday, because Friday I will not be live. I will be at the House of Blues seeing Great White and my buddy Slaughter. And if you remember the original drummer Bloss, who now plays for Stephen Pearcy and Trans-Siberian Orchestra, was their original drummer. Bobby Brock's the one who taught him how to play drums, and me and Bobby are, we grew up together, playing Little League baseball together, same neighborhood, all that. So that's where I'll be this Friday. I can't wait. They always put on a great show, both those bands, actually. So I will be there having fun. Now we're going to get into LeFlore's part 20 of 20. And for those of you who are just joining and have no idea who Ann is or what part 1 through 20 is, it was originally, this is how it all got started, folks. It was supposed to be a 24-part series on trusts. We got to 19 parts and we're like, yeah, everybody wants us to do a class. So we started doing classes, and that evolved into more classes, and the 24 parts kind of withered on the vine. And I had to go back and relabel everything, that there were only 19 parts, and we just never completed it. And it evolved into 2 different books and multiple classes and multiple videos and shows and appearances. It's been quite a success. So I want to thank everybody for that. Thank Ann as well. I'm very, very gracious for everything. I don't think I'm not. It's been fun. It's been an adventure. And we're going to see where this one goes. So, Ann, if you're not familiar with Bonds for the Win during the whole pandemic thing that we had, Michelle Clan was the face for Bonds for the Win, the movement of all the mothers, basically parents as well in general, but mothers mostly, reaching out to the school boards and school districts about, how their children were being treated in the public schools and didn't like it and were trying to go after the bonds. Bonds for the Win. Well, Ann was the backbone, the researcher, behind the scenes person, doing everything, building the website, running the website, doing the research, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And Mickey was on all the shows and being out there in front of the camera. So the evolution of this was originally the 20-part series. So I went back through all 19 videos, chopped them up, re-edited them, reposted them as a 20-part series. So what you're seeing is a newly edited version. The parts 1 through 19 are still the original, but all the excess surplusage has been edited out, and it's just the bare bones of Ann and I discussing that particular topic about the trust and nothing else. So this is part 20. This is the fund the trust, and this is what I kind of told Ann. And listen, I understand that one of the biggest issues most people have is either being the trustee for the trust, and doing what you're supposed to do to operate your trust, keeping all your records and your ledger and your checkbook ledger and keeping track of the finances and the minutes of all the meetings and the contracts and blah, 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 blah. That people have a hard time finding that trustee. So we are working on a solution for people with that. So if you have a trust, or you're thinking about building a trust, or you just can't get that trustee, or you just can't be a good trustee, we may have a solution coming for you soon. I'm trying to put all this together with the various entities in the background. Everybody has to, actually know their place and get together and put it together and make it function properly. So that's what we're trying to do. I don't want to come in here and fall flat on my face at the get-go. That's why I'm not looking for 1 million people. Okay. I don't want 1 million people. Please stay away. I just want a handful. I need some knowledgeable, educated, motivated people. That's all we're looking for. That's it. So if you're going to be part of that, come on, join us. We'll be more than happy to take the journey together. And everything we do, believe me, I'm not trying to step over any line to see, how far I can get away with them. No. I do everything by the rules, law, statutes, codes, treaties, acts, whatever the foundation that's presented to me to follow to get there. Generally, I'm not going to be the trailblazer. I'm utilizing what, other people have already effectuated, because I'm looking for proof of concept and proof of success. Hopefully you've done it twice and it works, almost as much as a debit card would. So as long as their point of sale works, no operator error, credits on account, that debit card is going to work every time. So my suggestion to Ann as the final capstone to this part series was funding the trust, because if you can, be the trustee, or you have a trustworthy trustee who will effectuate things when you need to get it done, you can pick up the phone and go, hey, boom, 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 and it's done. Then you're good. But a lot of people have not a good comprehension of how to fund the trust and how that should be operated. So that was my suggestion to Ann. It's like, hey, go do this. And bless her, she's really underestimated and undervalued, in my opinion. So she did a 41-panel PowerPoint presentation that we're going to go through tonight. So I think I've given her a good introduction. Let me go ahead and, you saw the book, but it just goes with honor, good faith, and clean hands. This is the original book that Ann published on trust, with 7 different trusts in it. And hey, do me a favor. If you've purchased this book, either ebook or the physical book, whatever, will you do me a favor? Will you go to Amazon.com and look up Ann LeFlore, and you're going to see on trust, and go leave a review for this book if you've purchased it, if you've used it, or if you even got a free copy from me and or another source. Yeah, please leave us a review. And then there is the specialty trust book. And if you do have a copy of this, I know I've given away some free copies, so please go to Amazon.com, leave us a review. The link for the On Trust review is in the description below this video. So, bless us, please. Thank you. Let me get that out of the way. All right. I've done enough of my pitching. Oh, let me add real quick. October 8th through the 12th, Orlando, Florida. Here we go. Super Soldier Activation Conference. James Rink The Super Soldier Talk is the host of the event. Noel Benoist will. So if you get a chance to get out there will be some other people speaking as well of various topics, not only just Super Soldier. They'll be talking about MK Ultra, a whole host of things. Super Soldier Activation.com, I believe is the website, or you can just Google James Rink Super Soldier event in Orlando, Florida, and it should pop up. So, all right, I'm going to get into the show. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. Let me knock out some of these images I have in here, so I'm not eating up all my bandwidth with a bunch of images. Are you ready? It's LeFlore, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
How's the weather in beautiful French Polynesian Tahitian island of whatever one you're on?
Well, you guys would probably be jealous. It's wonderful. And it's winter.
And it's winter already?
We're opposite. No, we're opposite seasons of you.
Well, it's going summer.
You guys, okay. Your summer is finishing, our winter is finishing, and then our fall is coming.
Okay. Well,
because December is our summer. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, our fall's supposed to be coming, but this is Houston, so when you just kind of blink, you just got through fall and winter and spring. It's summer again. I think it takes a weekend to do that.
I remember when I was traveling through Texas with my grandmother and my uncle, and they said, if you don't like the weather right now, just blink your eyes, and 5 minutes down the road, it's going to be different. And it was. It was very different.
Yeah, Houston's that way. You know, they're like, it's a 30% chance of rain today. And you're like, 30% chance. But actually what that means is 30% of Houston's going to get rain. The other 70%, hey, it's pool time. Catch some rays. Square business.
That's like it is here every day.
View. Can I go full screen? Fit the window? Nope. Reading normal outline. Yeah, I'm looking to see if it'll go full screen. It won't for some reason.
It does. You have to go to the view mode. In view mode, you can do full screen, or you double click on the image and it goes full screen.
I'm doing that and it's not. So I don't know. Yeah, it's not going.
Go to view mode.
I'm
at the top of the page.
And that's where I've been clicking on view, and I'm looking to. Yeah, it just doesn't have to fit the whole screen. Zoom. Fit percent. 100%. Okay.
Do slideshow.
Yeah, no, that's.
If you do slideshow, it does that.
Hold on. All right, so I guess that's going to have to do. I can't get it to work. Play this game. Man, I wish StreamYard would fix that. Okay, see, I can't get these to go away and get a whole screen.
Usually if you do slideshow, it doesn't.
Yeah. All right. Are you reading? Am I reading? How are we doing this?
No, you get to read. You like to read.
Thanks for that. Let me get back to it. All right, here we go. 41 panels. Y'all get ready, folks. Hopefully my voice will withstand.
There is not that much information on all the panels. It's sort
Oh,
of bullet pointed.
I see a pretty picture of a log cabin I'd like to visit this weekend. got an address, a GPS for that. All right. Trust Series Part 20, Funding Your Trust. This is Part 20 of a 20 series. Funding your trust is the essential process of transferring assets like real estate, bank accounts, investments, and personal property into a revocable living trust to activate its protections. Quoting, live privately, secure your legacy, and protect your family with a trust that shields your assets and ensures your wishes endure. Close quote. Moving on to panel 2. Trust Series Part 20, Funding Your Trust. Got a typo right there.
Oops.
How funding your trust works. Number 1, bills of exchange, BOEs, negotiable instruments for debt payment. 2, promissory notes, PNs, IOUs with interest and terms. Number 3, stocks, bonds, seamless transfer via brokerage. 4, judgments, court-awarded debts. Panel 3, trust funding, core rules and warnings. You can pop in anytime you want if you'd like to discuss.
Oh, I will. But these first 2 panels, there's really nothing to say.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to you think I was bull right through this stuff.
No, keep going.
Yeah. Well, I know there's there's a delay as well, so that's why. All right, trust funding, core rules and warnings. Core rule, legitimate asset transfers. Assets must be real and properly titled to the trust, e.g., example given, real estate investments. Use valid instruments like bills of exchange or promissory notes with genuine debt obligations. Proper titling ensures trust protections, avoids probate, shields assets, and honors your wishes. If anybody has a question, hit it over there in the, thank you, Sheila C, for that. Antium, how you doing? In the comments. How you doing, Ape Sitter? Because I'm watching the comments. So at any time we get through these panels and y'all have a question, pop it over there. And I'll catch it. I may not catch it during that panel, but I'll catch it in the next one.
Okay, this panel is very important because there's a lot of people who make these bills of exchange. They just write out this stuff and think that they can throw it in their trust and it'll fund their trust. It won't. They're illegal. You shouldn't do it. A bill of exchange is actually with another person. So if you have another trust and he wants to purchase something that your trust has, he can issue you a bill of exchange, which has all the terms, conditions, your trust name on it, and everything that's important. So that, and it even has a collection date when the money has to be given to you. So when he gives you that bill of exchange, your trust releases the property to him. And you're responsible for monitoring the bill of exchange and collecting the assets when they're due, because those assets belong to the beneficiary. They don't belong to you.
Okay. Let me ask you this. I don't know if you intentionally did it or what, but you did not use international bills of exchange. Is that deliberate or just that's not applicable?
I just tried to keep it locally because a lot of people internationally don't really purchase from somebody else's trust. You asked me to do something that was trust to trust, and people could work in their trust to sell items from their trust to another trust. And that's what I did this on.
Okay. I was visualizing that concept in my mind, what that would look like. Okay. Panel 4, what to avoid. Magic paper schemes. Fringe sovereign citizen tactics using fake bills of exchange, promissory notes as straw man funding or fraudulent. These schemes falsely claim to discharge debts or fund trusts without real assets. Per FBI and Housing of Urban Development warnings, such tactics are illegal and lead to potentially federal charges, e.g., forgery, wire fraud, mail fraud, etc., asset seizures and financial ruin, prison time for perpetrators.
The reason I literally talk about this is because, number one, when you die, your trust has got to have assets in it. If you funded your trust with something you just pulled out of thin air and wrote, then you've given it to the beneficiary. The beneficiary has absolutely nothing. So usually those kind of trusts will end up in, believe it or not, the judicial system. And once it gets in the judicial system, that's where it all comes out, because now it goes into probate. And now people are fighting, and you're actually losing 40% of any estate when you go into probate. I'm not kidding. It's not just the court that takes the money, it's the lawyers and how they run the probate. It's made for the lawyers to literally make a fortune off of somebody dying. It's absolutely insane.
Well, the bar created just another legal category where they can monopolize and pretty much, bully their way into, a monetary system because, probate, that whole thing over there is its own monstrosity, for lack of a better term. I think everybody would agree with me on that who's been through probate.
I don't disagree with it, but when I go back into the trust books who were written in, like 1798, 1805, all the way up to 1879, things like this, probate has always been there. It's always been probate. And trusts have evolved because before, even with the trust, and you trusted somebody with your property to hold on to your property, they didn't have you did not have the protection as you have today with the trust. So most people who did the trust way back then, the court still stepped in under probate. It was just the way it went. And since I think probably the 1940s to 1990s, trust started to evolve. And that's when there was more protections put into the trust, and the trust acts came out, and there's different trust acts, and each state has its own trust clauses in their constitution or in their state laws and legislature. So there's a lot of things that you have to understand when you're going into trust. So if this state does one thing, another state can do something else. So we have to be very careful about what we put in our trust and how we state our laws in our trust to protect us. That way we don't end up in the court, and that way we don't end up in probate.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to have to differ with you on opinion just a little bit on that. That, you did mention the 40s, and I don't think it was the trusts that changed so much as it was the law and the judicial system, court system in the United States.
Well, trusts back then weren't notarized. Sometimes people didn't even, just wrote them down on a piece of paper, signed them, left them sitting in a drawer, something like that. So yeah, you're right. They started to evolve, and they started to, make sure that they were witness, this and that and everything else. So they've been evolving for quite some time. And right now, trusts are really a good instrument. I'd rather see anybody do a trust than anybody do a will. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Saturday, when I have Stuart on, that's what the entire Roger Hilligus story is about. Is Roger's parents used an attorney to set up a trust for Roger and his sister. Did everything correctly, and the parents were elderly, and the sister wanted the money before the parents were, either willing to give it up or passed away. And yeah, that's tune in Saturday for that. Panel 5. Real world. Oh, where'd panel 5 go? There we go. Real world consequences. Even experienced professionals have faced devastating penalties for engaging in these schemes. Courts consistently reject fraudulent instruments, no legal basis under UCC or federal law. Panel 6. Key takeaway. Fund trusts with legitimate, verifiable assets to ensure compliance and security. Avoid magic paper shortcuts. They're a fast track to federal prosecution and loss of assets. Panel 7. Bills of exchange, funding your trust. What is a bill of exchange, a BOE? Now, we're talking just a bill of exchange here. We're not talking an international bill of exchange. That's why I specifically made that demarcation, so there was no confusion.
No, we're just well, I wrote this just for the bill of exchange in the United States. I didn't do it internationally.
Right, but some people would just naturally imply that they're both interchangeable and the same, and I'm making a statement they're not. So this is just
no, they're not.
Bill of exchange. What is a bill of exchange? A negotiable instrument for debt payment under UCC Article 3. UCC stands for the Uniform Commercial Code. For those of you who don't know, your state or parish in Louisiana most likely has adopted it as some type of a business or commerce code. Texas, it is the Texas Business and Commerce Code. So just look in your state statutes for it. Written order by drawer to drawee to pay a specific sum to payee. Funding a trust with BOEs. Trustee endorses, assigns a valid bill of exchange, e.g. from business receivable to the trust. Bills of exchange converted to cash assets via bank discount, treated as a receivable, not direct cash funding. Panel 8. Legal bill of exchange requirements, UCC section 3-104. Written and signed by the maker drawer. Unconditional promise order to pay a fixed amount. Payable on demand or at a definite time. Payable to bearer or identified person. No additional undertakings beyond payment except collateral waivers. What is not a legal bill of exchange? Unsigned or forged documents. Felony forgery, UCC section 3-403. Conditional promises or variable payment accounts. Non-transferable or restricted to specific parties without negotiation. Fake or fraudulent instruments lacking a genuine debt obligation. Panel 9. Key takeaway. Use genuine bills of exchange to securely fund trusts, ensuring compliance with UCC standards for enforceability. Fraudulent or fake bill of exchange risks severe penalties, including felony forgeries and voided transactions, undermining the trust and integrity.
So when you receive a bill of exchange into your trust, it has to have your trust name on it, and it has to list the trustee, because the trustee is the one who's receiving the bill of exchange, and he's the one who literally is releasing the assets from the trust to the other person through his bill of exchange. It could also be that this person wanted to hire you to do something, and so he gives you a bill of exchange so that you finish the work, and afterwards he'll pay the trust. But the money doesn't go to you, it doesn't go to anybody, it goes directly into the trust, and it has to be deposited into the trust bank account. So there's a lot of information that goes on a bill of exchange to make it legal for your trust.
Perfect. Panel 10, promissory notes, funding your trust. What is a promissory note or a PN? And again, we're specifically not discussing an international promissory note. And I know that's a thing. So this is just a promissory note.
Okay, well, the reason I wrote it this way, Floyd, is I'll be honest with you. You wanted it to be trust to trust, fund one trust to one trust. America has certain laws and rules for funding trust. And you've got to realize if you're dealing with other states, that state has to comply to your state rules. Now, if you go international, that's a whole nother story. And that becomes very complicated and also almost impossible for trust to run that way. If you have a foreign trust or you have a dynasty trust, it's a lot easier to do that with. But a simple revocable trust, it's not possible to actually do all those transactions. That's why everything here is just for a revocable trust or an irrevocable trust.
Okay. All right. Moving on to panel 11. Legal promissory note requirements. Did we jump one? Yeah, here we go. I'm sorry. Panel 10. Promissory notes, funding your trust. What is a promissory note? A written IOU with repayment terms, including interest under UCC Article 3. Legal binding promise to pay a specified sum to a payee. Funding a trust with promissory notes. Sell or assign promissory notes to trust, e.g., family loan swapped in GRAT, GRAT, for estate tax freeze. And that is what is a GRAT? Guaranteed. Do you remember?
I think it's a guaranteed repayment transaction.
Okay. Trustee collects payments, principal plus interest as trust income. Strategic for leveraging annual gifting exemptions before the 2026 tax sunset. So what's the 2026 tax sunset? What's that context?
Well, okay. So basically, last year, the amount of money in the taxable income was like $10 million. Okay. This year, it's gone up to $13,999,000. So next year, it's supposed to go even higher. This is what I think Trump has done to allow the trust to have more assets in them.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, the amount of money in the trust keeps growing.
The ceiling, you mean?
Right. Okay. So if your trust is under 10, and it also does with inheritance too. So, I mean, your trust can have as much money in it as you want, but initially there is, rules and laws and regulations of what goes in and what comes out.
Okay, which we're not getting into here.
No.
Okay, 11. Legal promissory note requirements, UCC section 3-104. Written and signed by the maker. Unconditional promise to pay a fixed amount with or without interest. Payable on demand or a definite time. Payable to bearer or identified person. No additional obligations beyond payment terms. What is not a legal promissory note? An unsigned or forged notes, potential felony forgery, UCC section 3-403. Conditional or vague payment terms, non-negotiable or non-transferable notes, fraudulent notes lacking a genuine debt obligation.
So
grantor annuity trust.
So basically,
okay.
Yeah. So basically what people are, coming about is parents right now are helping their children, but they're also doing it off of their trust of what money or funds that they have set aside for each child. Well, and the economy today is so bad that parents are actually, creating these promissory notes for the child when they give them the funds, and the child has to sign it, and that goes into the trust. And sometimes it's payment on death. So that means that the child receives debt forgiveness or the debt off of the promissory note as their inheritance.
Okay. Well, the economy's doing great, and according to the administration in office currently. Oh, and as a great segue, Houston.
Yeah, I guess that's why everything is just skyrocketing in prices. Yeah, it's doing
Well,
fantastic. Yeah.
Houston was just acclaimed as the poorest, largest city in the United States. Absolutely. I told y'all I live in a shithole. Y'all thought I was kidding. No, yeah, out of the top 25 biggest cities in the United States of America, we're number one. Minneapolis is 2 cities better than us. Key
Wow.
takeaway. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, what? I actually saved the video. Key takeaway: properly structured promissory notes in an irrevocable trust maximize tax benefits and protect assets from creditors. So we're talking about just a regular revocable. Now you're talking about a irrevocable trust, right?
Well, they can go in either one, revocable or irrevocable, one or the other.
Okay, I don't want to get anybody confused now. Poorly structured promissory notes risk IRS recharacterization as gifts, triggering taxes, and revocable trusts expose assets to creditors. Panel 13, stocks and bonds funding your trust. Seamless asset transfer. Transfer stocks and bonds to trust via brokerage, e.g., DTC retitling to trustee of XYZ Trust or ABC Trust, however you want to label your trust. Ensures assets are properly titled for trust protections, probate avoidance, creditor shielding, etc. Income generation. Stocks, bonds produce dividends and capital gains as trust income. Enhances trust financial growth while maintaining asset control. Panel 14, trustees' fiduciary duty. As I said, this is the probably one of the most sticking points. Most people are like, I don't know how to create a trust. Well, that's really not that difficult to just create a trust, but it's getting the trustee down and who that is, where you can get something done when you need it done with haste. So, trustees' fiduciary duty. Trustee must invest prudently, diversify holdings, and avoid speculative risks. Adheres to Uniform Prudent Investor Act, UPIA standards. Trustee's fiduciary duty. Trustee must invest prudent. Wow, you got that twice, so I don't know what happened
there.
No. Double vision. All right, panel 15, key takeaway. Stocks and bonds are powerful trust funding tools generating income while requiring careful, diversified management to meet fiduciary and tax obligations.
Okay, there is other things besides just the stocks and bonds. The 401ks could fall under the same category. So if you have a 401k, they're really difficult. I'm seriously difficult. I'm dealing with that right at the moment. So if you don't list a beneficiary of the 401k, you're not fully invested when you're 65 or things like this. The IRS can come in and take over 50% of the 401k away from you. And on top of it, these people who are running these 401ks, I think it's a scam. I totally believe it's some sort of a scam. Because, seriously, you put all that money into that 401k, you retire, and if you take money out of the 401k, you're penalized by the IRS and you're penalized by the 401k, and you have to repay the 401k with the money. And I'm like, well, wait a second. This 401k was all about investing for your retirement and having your retirement fund. There is certain ways, especially if, like the person does die. If you have your own 401k, then they'll merge the two together. They will not pay out. But if you're over 65 and you don't have one, then you're paid out over a 10 to 20 year period. Yeah, it's some sort of, I don't know who created them, but I'm glad I never invested in one.
I got a timeshare in China.
Yeah, exactly. I could have bought 10 of them in Mexico when I was down there working. Every time I turned around, there was some timeshare up.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
this one's the actual penthouse. It's on the top floor.
Oh, I thought it was going to be in Ming's Dynasty, or maybe,
it's
the Forbidden
top
City or something.
It is. It's like downtown, top floor, magnificent view. It's just a shell. It's not even finished yet. So that's all you're getting. But it is a timeshare. Judgments, funding your trust. What are judgments? Court awarded debts, creating enforceable liens or payment rights. Valuable for funding trusts with high value legal wins. And these are legitimate court awarded, whether it's, state or federal court.
Yeah. If you're in a lawsuit and you sue somebody and you win the judgment, you can actually put that judgment into your trust. And
right.
Once you sign it to the trustee collects on the judgment.
And can even use it as collateral. Goes on the ledger. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. So funding process. Assign judgment lien rights to trust via recorded assignment. Follow state-specific procedures. Trustee enforces collection, e.g. wage garnishment, asset seizure. Boosts trust corpus with recovered funds. And some of this I recognize it's in the On Trust book, some of the ancillary forms. Judgments continued. Key considerations. Verified judgment is active. Time-barred judgments expired under state statute of limitation are worthless. Check state laws for assignments and enforcement rules to ensure validity.
So you got to realize these judgments are also for small claims court. Because small claims court now has been raised to what? $1,500, $2,000, something like that. But any type of judgment,
10,000 in Texas.
Oh, okay, 10,000. Well, yeah. $10,000 is quite a chunk of money when you win in small claims court. So,
that's just the principal. That doesn't include damage awards.
Right. And it doesn't also include the interest when they don't pay it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So those are great items to put in your trust.
Yep. It all adds up. All right. Key takeaway. Judgments can significantly enhance the trust assets if properly assigned and enforced, but expired uncollectible judgments add no value. So if you've done a private administrative process and you've done it all the way to public notice and you do not have a legitimate judgment from signed by a court or an arbitrator, you don't have anything yet. Okay, there's value there, but you just don't have anything that's enforceable for people to see and go, okay, yeah, you're right, that's yours. You can have it. Come get it. Introducing trust bartering. Number 1, trust barter asset services privately, no cash needed. Number 2, exchange via contracts, e.g. stocks for bonds. Number 3, legal under UCC, IRS taxes at fair market value. Number 4, boost trust power, expand assets strategically. Panel 20. And we are halfway there, folks.
I told you it wasn't that long.
We'll find when we get to 41. Setup network, interlinked trusts, structure of interlinked trusts. Build a family dynasty, revocable trust for control, irrevocable for asset protection. Each trust holds compatible terms, e.g. transfer rights, aligned purposes. All trusts must form a family dynasty. Revocable trust for control, e.g. manage assets during life. Irrevocable trust for asset protection, e.g. shield from creditors, probate, etc. This dual
Okay,
structure.
I want to make a point about dynasty trust. There's two different kinds of dynasty trust. One type of dynasty trust is what the old families use for billions of dollars, and they keep these in dynasty trusts that go from generation to generation to generation. So if you set up a real dynasty trust that's actually a dynasty trust for actually protecting assets, there's only 2 states that allow the dynasty trust to run for 1,000 years. One is Delaware and one is Alaska. So you set up your dynasty trust there. And a dynasty trust, literally, you have no more control over it. You give it to the trustee or the company in Alaska or Delaware. They run the funds, they run the trust, they keep it going, they keep the investments going, and they
Who's
keep
they?
earning money for the trust.
Are those people associated with the state governments?
No, there's 2 companies in Alaska, and I think 1, 2, 3 companies in Delaware that run dynasty trusts. There's not very many companies who do.
So basically,
And
they're like a family office for dynastic trusts.
right. But
Okay.
this type of dynasty trust that they're talking about in this type of a situation is you have your network, your own personal network of trust. Like you would have a network of your revocable trust that would hold, let's say, your items in your home. You would have another trust that would hold your property. You would have another trust if you have a business that would hold your business adventures, things like this. So you build a network of different trusts that interlink to each other. And those different trusts are how you fund this trust, and you interlink them together to do bartering. So you have one trust that's basically set up as a barterer.
Okay. Got that. Last one. This dual structure is non-negotiable. Bartering only works, with this setup to ensure legal enforceability and tax benefits. Panel 21, enabling transfers. Design trust agreements to allow seamless asset service exchanges between trusts. Include trustee authority for bartering and assignment clauses. Each trust must include compatible terms, explicit transfer rights, e.g., assignment clauses, aligned purposes, e.g., wealth preservation, family support. Standardized terms enable seamless exchanges and prevent disputes or IRS challenges. And that would be something like the Uniform Commercial Code. You could have like the Uniform Trust Transfer Code, something like that, where it's agreed upon with all the trust that you're always going to operate with this set of rules, codes, however you want to frame it. Strategic benefits. Revocable trust retain flexibility. Irrevocable trust shield assets from creditors. Creates a robust network for private wealth management and legacy planning. Revocable trusts offer flexibility to adjust assets. Irrevocable trusts lock in tax freezes and creditor immunity. Creates a fortress-like network for private bartering and long-term legacy dominance. Panel 22. Key takeaway. Interlinked trusts with compatible terms that empower secure strategic asset transfers within your dynasty. Structure all trusts with revocable, irrevocable links and compatible terms, mandatory for a legal and private bartering success. Barter mechanics and legal guardrails. Barter mechanics. Trustee A from your trust and trustee B from my trust, from a separate independent trust, not yours, execute deed assignment, e.g. Trust A deeds realty to Trust B for B's promissory note portfolio. Value equalized via appraisal to avoid gift tax triggers ensures fair market exchange between distinct entities. So realistically, you could have a deed for a car or, you know, a your own made deed for the car. You could have it titled underneath it and you could have it registered in your trust. And then you could just sell the deed for a promissory note. That would be a simpler way of doing it. A lot of people that register homes and LLCs, you know, theoretically, you could actually sell the LLC and not have to go through the whole real estate process. That should be a way to avoid all that, but I don't know why people don't do that. You know, more often it's easier to sell a corporation than it is a house or a piece of real estate. But that's a whole nother video. So value equalized via appraisal to avoid gift tax triggers ensures fair market exchange between distinct entities. The legal guardrails, fiduciary duty enforced, no self-dealing or conflicts of interest allowed. Trustees act solely for the trust's benefit. Governed by state trust law, e.g., Uniform Trust Code Section 802 for compliance and enforceability. Panel 24, practical execution. Document all transfers with appraisals, signed agreements, and detailed records to prove fair value and intent. Align with trust purposes, e.g., wealth preservation, family support across separate trusts to maintain legal standing and tax integrity. Verify state-specific filing requirements, e.g., deed recording, to solidify transfers and avoid disputes. Panel 25. Key takeaway: barter thrives with equalized value and strict fiduciary adherence. Stay bulletproof under state law, leveraging independent trust partnerships. Panel 26. Legal guardrails for trust bartering, core protections. Fiduciary duty prohibits self-dealing. Trustees must prioritize trust benefits over personal gain. State trust law, e.g., Uniform Trust Code, Section 802 requires prudent deals. We just covered this, didn't we? No, almost. Deals ensuring fair and reasonable exchanges, cross-state and federal considerations. Cross-state bartering triggers federal tax nexus. Report income per IRS rules, e.g., Form 1099-B. Align with each state's trust laws to avoid jurisdictional conflicts.
Okay, so there's a lot of people who are going through deed problems, especially elderly people. One of their children is running their trust. They know that the house is in the trust. The house is completely paid off. So because they're the trustee, what they're doing is they're using the trust to borrow money off the house. And then they're paying back out of their own personal pocket. So this is why there's legal guard rails set into place, because you can't do things like this.
Okay. Panel 27, safety measures. Use escrow accounts to hold assets during transfers, minimizing risk or default or fraud. Ensure secure, verifiable completion of barter agreements. 28. Key takeaway: adhere to fiduciary standards, state laws, and escrow accounts to stay ironclad across states and with the IRS. Panel 29. Potential pitfalls. Complexity invites disputes. Sloppy documentation risks IRS reclassifying as a sham, triggering tax evasion charges. Sovereign-style barter networks using fake liens often mask fraud, flagged by the FBI as a domestic threat. Feasibility and expertise. Viable for pros, e.g., ultra-wealthy families using family offices, with multi-trust swaps for tax arbitrage. For others, requires estate attorney, CPA, setup cost, $10K plus to ensure compliance. Panel 30.
It's not so easy to write a trust bartering system, because you don't know if the trust that you're dealing with actually has the same clauses and has the same rights as your trust does. That's what's difficult about it.
Okay. So you basically, well, that's where we got into like the uniform trust transfer code, and then part of that in the terms and conditions would be that, you're all playing by the same rules or a agreed upon set of rules, regardless of what your trust says. That could be your fail safe for that. Legal and practical, legit in estate planning with proper structure, e.g., IRS compliant swaps. Evade rules and face audits, penalties, or prosecution. Don't gamble with your legacy. Key takeaway: navigate risks with pros and airtight docs. Stay legit or get crushed. Panel 32. Trustee operations, management, and prudent investing. Core operations. Management follows trust terms. Trustees execute bartering, investments, and asset shifts. Prudent investing, mandated under Uniform Prudent Investor Act, UPIA, adopted in 49 states plus District of Columbia. And it is ACTEC/NBTS data. And I have no idea what all that stands for. Legal backbone, governed by fiduciary codes, e.g., Texas Property Code, Section 117, California Probate Code, Section 16045 through 16054, Uniform Trust Code, Section 9. Triple check, black letter law, no gaps, no excuses. Courts and IRS enforce this ruthlessly.
Okay, so a lot of the trusts that we have been setting up do not enforce all these laws. So what we have to do is amend the trust. And we can also do an amended restated trust, keeping our original trust date, and then just write a completely new trust that literally is just filled with laws, codes, IRS this, and all the terms that you need so that your trust will never be broken. Because a lot of times I've been reviewing trusts recently, people have no contest. They've forgotten to put a no contest clause inside their trust. All their codes that were originally written in the trust 10 years ago or whatever are all obsolete, and many trusts are so shabbily written that they really need to amend and restate their trust. Because if you got a trust back in 1999, 2000, 2001, there were certain trust templates that everybody used at that time, and those trust templates are like really no good anymore. You really need to update your trust.
Okay. I would encourage anybody, if you have a trust that's 10 years old, you should probably go back and recheck all your verbiage by now. If they're definitely older, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of attorneys out there. For example, I mean, you go to an attorney, you ask them to write your trust. They'll hand you a binder and say, okay, here's your trust. Give me $5,000, $10,000. So you pay it, you go home. And you're like, oh, cool. I got everything I need. I don't have to do anything. The problem is the attorney gives you a whole list of things that you do have to do. And he never tells you to do those things. That's what the sham is in my books. An attorney, you say, well, an attorney wrote my trust. Okay, did you follow what the attorney told you to do when you took your trust home? No, they didn't. They had no idea even what it was all about. Most people don't. Most attorneys talk them into a trust, and they're like, oh, okay, sounds good to me. And that's where the problem comes in.
Yep. All right, moving on. Panel 33, your fierce defense. Screw up in IRS or courts, shred your trust, stay sharp with UPIA compliance to protect your empire. As your ally, we lock this down. Precision is your shield. 34, Key takeaway, run trustee ops with UPIA, discipline and legal precision. Failure invites annihilation. Panel 35, core operations, managing per trust terms, trustee role and scope. Trustee, you or designee, manages daily ongoing per trust instrument. Irrevocable or revocable dictates powers, e.g. distributions, expenses, amendments. Blueprint drives all action, deviation, risks, collapse. Universal duties, administer faithfully, collect assets, pay debts, taxes, e.g. Form 1041 for irrevocable, keep records, provide annual accountings to beneficiaries, UTC, Section 813, breach equals surcharge removal, personal liability, loyalty and impartiality, no self-dealing, balance current versus future beneficiaries, e.g. income versus growth, conflicts equal resignation or court petition. Enforce, defend, litigate if needed, insure assets, pro-move, delegate routine tasks, e.g. to accountants with oversight, UTC Section 807, protects if prudent. Panel 36, your ironclad strategy. Master these duties or face IRS court wrath. Delegation with control keeps you untouchable. Stay proactive. Regular legal audits catch errors before they escalate to penalties. Document every decision with a rationale to shield against beneficiary challenges. Leverage professional advisors, e.g. tax experts, to navigate complex tax filings like Form 1041 or others like a 1098B. Maintain a war chest for litigation. Defend your trust aggressively if attacked. 37. Key takeaway. Run operations by the book. Faithful management and delegation are your fortress against liability. Panel 38. Legally funding trusts and private barter between them. Fund legally first.
It's not moving on the screen. Oh, there it goes.
All right. Legally funding
moving on the screen.
Yeah. Welcome to StreamYard. Anyway, legally funding trust and private barter between them. Fund legally first. No BS shortcuts. Transfer real, verifiable assets to your trust via proper titling, e.g. deeds for real estate, brokerage retitling for stocks, bonds, account name changes for cash, etc., etc. This activates probate avoidance, creditor shields, and seamless inheritance. Irrevocable trust lock-in tax freezes, e.g. grant swaps, grantor annuity trust. Revocable ones keep control but are exposed to creditors. Avoid sovereign fraud, sovereign citizen bullshit. FBI crushes that with felonies or at least a knock on your door. I wouldn't know anything about that. Barter between trusts. Your private power play. Trusts are legal set contract like pros. So yes, barter goods services directly, e.g. Trust A swaps real estate consulting for Trust B's inventory, which could be a basket of fresh peaches. Draft a binding barter agreement. Specify items, fair market value, timelines. UCC Article 3 covers if negotiable. Trustee signs as fiduciary. Enforce via courts if needed. Panel 39. Staying private and buying goods services. Keep it off-grid with private contracts, non-disclosure agreement addenda, no public filings unless real property deeds. Use irrevocable trust for max privacy, no grantor exposure. Buy via barter. Trust pays with asset services, not cash, e.g. your trust stocks for another's repairs. Document FMV for IRS. Barter equals taxable income at fair market value for both. Revocable flows to you. Irrevocable files 1041. Pre-2026 leverage gifting exemptions to seed barter assets tax-free. The sunset 2026. Tax traps and wins. Report barter as income, Form 1099 if over $600. IRS treats it as a sale at fair market value, but no cash means deferred hits if structured smart, e.g., like kind if qualified. Irrevocable trust deduct expenses. The grantor pays taxes to grow the corpus faster. Fierce pro tip. Consult a state attorney CPA per state. Barter legal gold if genuine but sloppy equals audits prison. Dominate privately, own the game. Summary. Introduction. Trust barter asset services privately, leveraging contracts for cashless exchanges, e.g., stocks for bonds. Setup and methods. Mandatory interlinked trusts, revocable for control, irrevocable for protection, with compatible terms, enable bartering. Use bills of exchange, promissory notes, stocks, bonds, or judgments, legal judgments, for legal asset swaps. Mechanics and guardrails. Trustees execute deeds, assignments, equalize value via appraisals, and use escrow for safety. Fiduciary duty in state law, e.g., U2C, Uniform Trust Code, Section 802, enforce prudent conflict-free deals, cross-state triggers, federal tax nexus. Operations and risks. Trustees manage per trust terms, invest prudently, UPIA, and delegate with oversight. Breach invites liability. Risks include disputes, IRS sham reclassification, or fraud, e.g., sovereign citizen scams, or the like. Pros, needs attorney, CPA, $10K plus to set up, utilizing those two. And finally, panel 41, last but not least, thank you, and LeFlore Fearless Floyd, new trust books, streamlining your power move. I didn't even know this was here. A new series of trust is coming soon. I told you I didn't. Y'all think I'm kidding when I tell you all that. I mean, if y'all want something buried forever, you want to keep a secret, just send it to me and tell me to read it or watch it, and make sure it's like 2 hours long, because I don't have time. Sorry. God bless you. I just don't have time. I wish I did. And I'll get into this, but today I was like scrolling through YouTube, just find something, and I ran across Candace Owens live, and it said 276,000 live viewers. And I was like, hold on, my vision right? Are those live viewers? I was like, that must be a mistake. And I think she topped out about 300,000 live viewers on YouTube today on her video, which is mind-blowing.
Shocking. Yeah.
Mind-blowing. I mean, that's just on YouTube live. I don't know what other platform she was streaming at the same time. Without guests, that's powerful. That tells you something. People are paying attention. Anyway, so a new trust book. So a new series of trust books is coming soon. These game-changing streamline your efforts with comprehensive state-by-state laws for seamless compliance, tools to modify existing trusts, including bartering provisions, expert insights to fortify revocable and irrevocable trusts. For Canada, New Zealand, and Australia, we're crafting tailored editions covering revocable and irrevocable trusts just for you. Unlock the ability to adapt any trust for bartering, stay ahead, stay legal, and dominate your legacy. Oh, well, there you go, folks. Dang, I didn't even know that was coming. I knew something was coming, but I didn't know that was coming. All right.
We spoke about it. Yeah.
We kind of glossed over everything, but we didn't talk about doing the other countries. We talk about breaking the book up into individual trusts, with all the ancillary documents. So if you didn't want to buy a book with 6 other trusts in it and you just wanted to do a foreign trust, you didn't have to buy the on trust book. You could just buy foreign trust books, and it would still have all the additional instruments that you would need for that little
It would
slim book.
be,
But Ann pulled a fast one on me here. She threw me a change up and said, here's a revocable living trust for Canada, New Zealand, and Australia.
I already did it. I already finished it.
I know. Again.
Okay, so here's what I've been working on, Floyd. I'll explain to you. I have literally taken the irrevocable trust book, and I have written an irrevocable trust for a single person, an irrevocable trust for a married person. I have added the trust documents to the book. I've also gone into the appendix, and I have looked up every single trust law in every single state, including Washington, D.C. And it's all listed in the appendix of the book. It's close to 50 pages of trust codes at the back of the appendix. But this is a complete.
Which book?
All the revocable book, the irrevocable book. I just finished the Dynasty Trust book today. Yeah, for setting
These
up
are the individual books that you're doing.
Right.
Now.
Exactly.
Okay.
So on the revocable book, I have 4 different types of revocable trust in the book. One is for a single person. One is for a married couple. One is for a widow who has a co-trustee, somebody who's helping her do the trust, but she is the main trustee, and it's written for a co-trustee, because when people are starting to get older, they're wondering how, after their husband dies, the trust is still revocable. And they're wondering how to use the trust, but they don't actually understand it. And they want to add one of their children as a co-trustees. And then I have one example of a amended, restated trust. And you keep the original date of the trust, but you do not keep the original notary signature or the original notary date. It has to be restated using the same date as the trust. And then there's a restated date inside the new trust and a new notary signature or a new notary document for inside the trust.
So these are trusts that are roughly 2 to 3 decades old.
Exactly.
Hitting that 25-year mark.
Yeah, and it brings in all the new laws, all the new codes. I mean, these trusts that I'm working on are very, very secure. They're unbreakable, and there is no loopholes. That's why this bartering is what you started the bartering with. You have to start with a trust that has all these new different clauses and conditions inside of it if you want to barter with your trust. And so I have, I think, 5 or 6 books finished. And one of them is for Canada. And I finished the revocable trust for Canada. I'm working on the irrevocable one right now. And the reason I started Canada, Australia, and New Zealand is I had a lot of people contacting me. They wanted to know how to adopt the trust that we have now with Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. So I figured, well, why not just put them in a book and put all the documents in there, give them their Schedule A, their Schedule B for their beneficiaries, Schedule C, different, letters that they need, plus how to, the bank letters and things like this. And then the book is written under California, but California's in brackets and codes are in brackets. So everything in brackets has to be changed.
Okay, and you're getting way beyond everybody right now. It's like, oh,
anyhow,
yeah, you got them on a page looking at a bracket now of a book that's not even here. So. You're welcome, everybody.
So anyhow, there's an index in the book, and you just go into the index, and it states the code, and you can understand the codes because there's a description by the code. This code goes to this, this goes to this, this goes to this. So all you do is take your state code and plug it into where the brackets are.
There you go. That's easy. That's on the PDF though, right? Not the physical book. It won't work on the physical book. Just saying.
No, but there, all books will have every single template in it that you need. And within 2 days using the book, you can basically have your trust done. It's like a 2-day process.
Okay.
You pick the template you want to use. You pick either being a single person or you pick the template of being married, and you fill in the templates.
Okay. All right, we'll see where that goes, or where this goes. But that's How to Fund Your Trust, part 20 of 20. And I had no idea, we got this new stuff popping up. So we probably should do a show on that book, how it applies to Canada, New Zealand, and Australia, just for that audience.
Okay, I got all the laws and regulations for New Zealand and Australia.
Yeah, down the road.
I haven't gotten it written yet.
Yeah, I'm not talking about tomorrow. Slow down.
Okay, good.
There's a time change. I'm allowing for the time change.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we got plenty of time. I'm booked all week, actually. So that's surprising.
Well, this is not going to be something that's going to come out within the next 2 days. It takes quite a while to write the trust because different. And see, the thing is, one of the things that I'm experiencing right now, because I'm international, and you were talking about bartering international or sending money international and things like this, you don't realize what a nightmare it is, what a total nightmare it is. It took me 5 days to write a grantor inheritance trust for the estate for my family. And the laws here are so ridiculous because I live in an island. It's French, but I have to deal with French law. I have to deal with Polynesian law because the estate is in DC. So now they control another law. And then my family is administering it in California. So I'm dealing with 4 different cross borders, cross laws. And it's
fun.
It's
fun. Yeah. Anne's having like all kind of issues with her brother's estate and everything that
not only
attaches with that. And she's giving you firsthand experience, okay, from halfway across the world. Okay, she's dealing with shit over here in the States, and she's giving you her experience and her research into the effective way where, like everybody in the United States, nobody wants to fucking pay taxes on something that already got taxed 20 times, and that's where she's at. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not only that, Floyd, but if you look at it and you want to barter from America, and okay, we'll just use France, okay, because I'm here. All right. If I want to barter with you from America, I give you my papers from France, from where I'm at, with the notaries and all the stamps and everything on them. I give them to you. You take them and you send me the money. Now, this is where the problem comes in, because France has a tax code treaty with America. And you have to understand how these treaties from one country to another country work. And some countries don't have treaties. So you guys could end up bartering with some country that doesn't have treaties and you don't know the laws. And you're going to end up paying more taxes and have more problems than if you just barter within your districts, within the 50 states. That's another reason I didn't want to get into bartering internationally, because I'm dealing with international laws right now, and it's not so easy. It's very complicated to even explain.
Oh, yeah. And when you start, especially when assets are being transferred from one destination to another, and you start crossing those international boundary lines, and you're crossing.
But even though you're well, yeah. I mean, if my brother's estate was in a state, It's just interstate. But because it's in a territory, it's a completely different entity. The territory seizes everything. So, I mean, it's
And
crazy. You have to understand.
and you retain dual citizenship, so because of
Uh-huh.
that, there's a whole another set
Oh,
of
yeah.
implications.
And not
If
only
you
that, but I'm a US citizen non-resident because I have no residency. So let's talk about different laws and stuff. Like when you told me you wanted to do bartering and then you were saying international or local, I chose local because international, you would have been reading another 30 panels, you know.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So
Sorry.
yeah, when Ann's bringing this stuff forward, believe me, she's doing it out of her own research and her own experiences, or okay, she's doing this for other people on consultation work or consulting work or contract work. And, in that, sometimes she'll complete that, but it'll take her off on some rabbit trails that she'll go pursue later. And she comes up with these projects. Here we go.
Yeah, because also there's a lot of people recently who are sending me their trust. Oh, can you analyze my trust and tell me what's wrong with it? And then I have other people who are now insurance or run insurance and company. They want to team up with me with trust. So they're going to sell insurance and their purchasers are going to use me to analyze their trust and tell them what they need to update in their trust. So it just is, it's one thing after another. I have to learn all these laws and everything. It's not so easy, to tell you the truth.
You have to read. Man, reading is so fundamental.
Well, that's what I do. First off,
Yeah.
I ask a question and then I start digging. And one thing leads to another and it leads down multiple rabbit holes. But
Right.
I've heard a lot of people say, oh, don't go and buy a trust book. You don't need it. All you have to do is go to a free chat GPT or Grok or somebody like this, and they'll write the trust for you. Okay, so I literally tried it. I'm going to tell you my experience with it.
Oh,
It was it was a trust that was very basic, had no securities, no nothing, and it wouldn't even have protected you. It was considered like a 1970s trust, one of the very old, basic, fundamental, whatever it is. And I
right.
was looking through it and I'm like, what is this thing? I mean, if people are actually using the AI to write their trust, I feel really sorry for you. I really do. I mean, you guys have got to ask questions. Seriously.
Right. Definitely do that. All right. Anything else you want to add before we sign off for the evening? Close out
No, I'm pretty good. If we want to
part
close out early,
22.
fine. I'm great.
Yep. This is what we did tonight, folks. Funding the trust, part 20 of 20. If you didn't catch parts 1 through 19 or the introduction, there's a playlist on my YouTube channel. So go check that out.
Um,
This will be posted as
Floyd,
well.
I'm gonna. I went onto your playlist on your YouTube channel to look it up,
Uh-huh.
and they're all said private member. All the trust. Number one
Um,
is public. Number 2 through 19 are private.
for
Members
this
only.
for this series or the old series?
Um, I don't know if it's this series or maybe
For
the
the
old
old one.
series.
No, for the
Oh,
old one, yes.
okay. Because
They
Floyd,
have
when you
all
can.
the advertisements, the bullshit, this is what I'm doing because it's this time of year or that kind of stuff. All these are edited out.
Oh, okay. Because I must have
If
missed them
if it
somewhere.
has this look on it, this is the new logo, new everything. This is what it looks like. They'll all say part 1 of 20, part 2 of 20, part 3 of 20. And they'll all have the same what is this? Monrovia cursive or something like that font. So there you go.
Okay.
Yep. They'll be up there. All right, Ann. Well, I look forward to the new books and getting them all done. And I don't know where that's going, but it is what it is.
Well,
So,
I can send some of them off to you. I've already got the covers.
more
I
work.
literally, Floyd, I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I did the covers myself because I want them more simple. I don't want all the writing all over them. I just want them straightforward. Here's
Yeah.
your trust.
Wow.
Do it in 2 days. It's this, and this is what's in the book. I mean, simple.
That's fine. I'm
And the
not
back
tripping
cover is
at all.
very
I
simple.
don't care. I really don't care. I'm tired of, tweaking stuff.
Well, I did it. I did it so that the image of the trust book would fit on Amazon for you. It's exact same size as
Yeah.
Amazon.
Hopefully, if we're even going to
Well,
use Amazon, because that I'm not. I'll talk to you off mail about that. That's why I tell everybody. Somebody, let me break this down for you. Okay, I found this implausible. I would
you want
almost
me
say
to tell it because I was the one who contacted you.
no. Yeah, I know, but no. I talked to Amazon. I've talked to Amazon
Oh,
multiple times. So I'm trying to tell everybody what their review process is, their policy. That if you've spent $50 in the last 12 months on Amazon for anything using a debit or credit card, you can leave a review on any product you want. Whether you purchased it, used it, ate it, read it, yeah, doesn't matter. So I can just go on. Just I bought a whole bunch of stuff off Amazon and just leave a review for a product that I know nothing about. So that's what somebody did, even though, we've never, Ann and I have never sold a book on Amazon. Everything we've sold is through the website or alternative. Don't ask me why, but we haven't. And there's a bad review on there, a 1-star review. Absolutely. And I tried to get it removed because it says verified purchase on that. The verified purchase means that they spent $50 in the last 12 months with their credit card. That's what that means. It doesn't mean they verifiably purchased the book and read it and left
oh
a
no.
on. Yeah. Oh, and hours I've spent on the phone with these folks. Hours.
Wow.
And it's to the point where I want to remove all my stuff from Amazon. So I unpublished the books and I told them that's my copyrighted material and I want it off your website. That's where I was today.
Yeah.
I'm fucking done. That's the most insane policy I think I've ever heard in the entire world.
No, because what the guy wrote was ridiculous. I've
never, ever, ever had anybody complain about anything in the book except the price, and even those people are legitimate.
That's why I'm trying to make one trust, because some people don't need 7 trusts. And if we break
people
all
don't have $250 in this economy. I mean, if you just went and bought coffee in the last week or so, your coffee just increased by at least 30%. Because I know mine did when I went and bought it 3 days ago, and it was so noticeable. I went, "What? Oh, is that in the right place?" It went up $4. Really?
$4?
It went from I could get a can for like 10 or 11 bucks. I think it was 10 and change. Now it's $15 and something.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was at the market Thursday.
Well, that's the tariffs. That's the tariff going into that's here. Our tariff that Donald Trump did with whatever country we're getting the coffee from. Colombia, Peru, I don't know. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Thanks, Donald. Appreciate you.
So we're going through the same thing, but we buy from Colombia and France and things like this. I used to, buy the bags of coffee for the machine, and it was like $4.63. It was $4.63 because we don't use, decimal points. Right. When I went to the market Thursday, it's now 12 something. It's gone up $8.
Yeah, things are going up and up and up. Nothing's going down.
No, because I go to the market. It's so funny. I can go to the market and in the morning I buy an item. It's like $3.50. I'll go back in the afternoon to pick up something else. that item right now is now $3.90 or 40 or 70 cents or 60 cents. It's going up 5, 10, 20, 30, and 50 cents every time I turn around.
Real time inflation. That's crazy.
Yeah, I just watch it. I mean, you see the thing at the market, and you see on the bottom they have all the new stock coming in. Oh, guess what? You pick it up in the morning when they haven't stocked the shelf. You go in the afternoon when they stock the shelf, and it's 20 cents more. And I'm just like, no way.
Pricing came in, that new load. Yeah, it costs more to get there.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming on the show. Thank you for your presentation. As always, your knowledge and patience, and look forward to the new books. Have a great week, and I'll see you whenever I see you, and I'm sure I'll talk to you before then. So thank you.
Okay. Sounds wonderful. Bye, you guys. Have a great week.
There you go, folks. And LeFlore, again, the dynamic duo of LeFlore Clan, Bonds for the Win, so affectionately known. Man, it's always great to have her on the show. Just, what a great business partner, a friend, an associate, just a knowledge base, a resource. So, yeah, very, very humbled and very proud and gracious. So thank you for her. Let's see. Didn't have any other comments or questions over here. So, again, in the description below this video will be the link to go to Amazon to leave a review. So if you've ever purchased or read or utilized or received Anne's on LeFlore Anne LeFlore's On Trust book, please go over there and leave us a review if you qualify. If you spent $50 with a credit or debit card on Amazon in the last year, you qualify, even though you haven't even gotten the book. So I'm just stunned. Stunned. I mean, there's no name, nothing. There's no picture. It's just KO. That's the account, KO. I didn't know if they were being ironic or what. It's a KO, Floyd. We're going to knock you out right off the bat. You haven't even sold a book, and we're going to screw you over. But thank God we're not doing this for the freaking money, obviously. I told you. If we were doing it for the money, man, I mean, it'd be a real shit show. But we do this for the education. So thank you, everybody, for participating. As I said, race bait is coming up. I don't know when I'm going to post it. So that might be a Friday deal. If you don't know what it's about, well, you're just going to have to wait and see, and I'll get it up there for you. So the outro is coming up. I'm going to do some fresh intros and outros for you guys. Again, the very beginning of the video, Take the Day Off, featuring Juan C. Vasquez, a.k.a. Pinche Juan C. That's him, not me. Again, Take the Day Off. That was Drug War Veterans on YouTube. Go check him out. And with that, again, thank you, Ann. Thank you, everybody, for spending your time over here with me. I hope you learned something. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe, share, leave a comment below. Tell me what you think about the video, the trust, and funding your trust. Do you have any questions, anything like that? The Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com. TheFearlessFloydShow.com is the website. If you want my number, it's at the bottom of my website. My phone works 9 to 9. You're more than welcome to call me anytime Central Standard Time. Otherwise, my phone doesn't ring, and I have no clue that you called because it's on Do Not Disturb. So I think if I can give you 12 hours of my day for free, thank you, bro. I'm going to get hooked up from the guy above. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I am going to call Juan now, and we are planning a trip to Puerto Rico very soon. I don't know when. I know he's going to Fort Lauderdale next week for a keynote speaking engagement for networking with Kenny Rez, aka Mag Chop Kenny. If you don't know who Kenny is, he is. You can go to Harrah's Casino in Fort Lauderdale, and his artwork is on display there. So our good buddy Kenny Ruiz, movie star, artist, fashion designer. I know. I'm swimming with some big fish now, aren't I? So yeah, we're going to Puerto Rico, and yeah, stay tuned for that one. That's gonna be fun. Y'all have a good night, everybody. Thank you for hanging around after the show. I want to present to you Tailor Made Trust, featuring LeFlore's Trust Series, available at tailormadetrust.com, as well as the fearlessfloydshow.com store. Here are a handful of the available trusts that can be built, custom tailored to your needs and desires. 25 different trusts, plus the DNA Trust Addendum. And as always, LeFlore's classic trusts and ancillary classes, and also Ann's books on trusts and specialty trust, which I also co-authored. If you'd like to get a class, a book, or have a trust custom built for you, always available at the fearlessfloydshow.com store. And I'll see you in the next show. Thank you for watching, and have an awesome day.